What you call a young man curious? Drawing on a beat and you know I'm serious. Podcast only need 30 minutes. Experience, but I'm new to this business. About to start a project dependent on acquaintance from new and old business. I thank God for the vision. Every episode, new wisdom. We just talking about real business, like how they making money and how they living. I'm just trying to do something different, cause I'm just a young man curious. I'm just a young man curious. Yeah, I'm just a young man curious. What's up, my guy? Today I'm joined by the one, the only minister, pastor, Shawn Pierce, a good friend of mine. We go way back to Sycamore days when we was young lads. But before we get too much into it, bro, go ahead and introduce yourself, tell the people who you are and a little bit about you.
So you already introduced me, but my name is Shawn Pierce from Odessa, Texas. Born and raised in Odessa, Texas. Lived in a couple of different states. Now I'm in Seattle. I'm on the outskirts of Seattle and Bremerton, Washington. Married to the beautiful, smart, genuine Angelin Pierce.
Rack up the points, bro. Rack up the points.
Yeah, facts. I just got like 10. That's it, man. That's like the basics.
Nah, bro. So we definitely gonna get into it and talk about a lot. I'm already know this is gonna be one of my favorite conversations just because of our relationship, and so really looking forward to diving into your life, sharing your experiences with people, and then a little bit about what's on the horizon for you. But first of all, tell us a little bit about your childhood, right? You and I met early elementary days, but I know your family, but tell me a little bit about growing up, your family dynamic, so on and so forth. What was that like for you?
So, two-parent household, Eddie Trey Pierce and Janice Pierce.
Legends.
2 older brothers and an older sister as well. Grew up, again, everybody in the same house except my sister. My sister grew up, was way older than us, but I knew her, spent time with her as well. Went to Gonzales Elementary. But before that, went to First Baptist.
Okay, private school.
Private school. And then I went to Odessa Christian School.
Okay.
Which is right behind Bonham, right beside Bonham.
When did you go to Odessa Christian? At what grade?
So, I only went to like the pre-K and like the
okay,
like the before you actually go to school at First Baptist.
Okay.
And then I went to Odessa Christian School from first grade until maybe 3rd or 4th. And then I went to Gonzales.
Gotcha.
And then from there, Bonham. And then to the P.
What was it like going to private school in elementary? I know I went to private school like pre-K. I went to St. John, and so we used to eat good over there. The priest did kill my fish though. He was shaking that smoke thing over my fish. So,
bro, killed your fish?
Yeah. I don't think that's why I left, but I still remember to this day. So,
you think it hurt you a little bit?
Yeah, bro. I blamed him. I don't know, like I guess it's Catholic or whatever, but they had that little smoke shaker.
Oh.
Or the ash or incense, whatever it is. But I took my fish up there to get blessed.
Bro, blessed him.
He went on up
yonder. He went on up quick, bro. Hey, listen, that's the biggest blessing he could have got.
He went on up yonder.
Nah, it was cool, bro, because I think for me at First Baptist, I don't really remember it too much, but I know it was memorable because I do remember one specific teacher that I actually, when I went back home from Houston, I want to say it was one summer, I actually ran into her at the Y, and I knew exactly who she was.
Okay, cool.
So it like let me know that like I had good times.
Yeah.
And then Odessa Christian School, like I remember vividly, like first time on the basketball team.
Yeah.
I remember specific teachers that I had there, all the little field trips we took. So I think for private school is cool because, yes, you don't get to see some of the stuff that you get to see in public, right. But I think that's good at that age.
Yeah, that's
because you're not introduced to things that could scar you going into,
you don't have to
high
go
school.
too fast.
Facts. So you get the chance to develop, and it's kind of like boxed in, specific. Like, somebody might get in trouble for throwing rocks at the playground.
Yeah.
But you don't see the stuff that you'll probably see in the public sector. So, and you got to pay for it, so everybody can't go.
Yeah.
You know, not to be rude or anything. So, yeah, man, I think it was a good experience though, because it like limited what I seen before I got to like Gonzales.
That's cool, man. I was just curious. I'm always curious about the difference between public and private education. But you were a Gonzales Steeler. Mm-hmm. I think that's where I met you in the chapter. You and I we grew up, met at the Boys and Girls Club, played with the West Texas Swoosh.
Yeah.
Shout out to Coach Pam and
Coach Sam to begin with.
You're right. Coach Sam kicked it off.
Facts.
But then he
kicked us off.
We was too much. Yeah. The boys was too much, so he had to pivot. He still did West Texas Swoosh, but had the girls team. And so shout out to Coach Sam and then Coach Pam. And so that's where we kind of started building our relationship. And then we went to Bonham.
Bro.
Where?
We started building a relationship when we did the Boys Club League.
Oh, you sure right.
We started a relationship at the Boys Club League, and then we got on the same team with the traveling squad.
You're right.
Yeah, because it was you was on a different team, but me, Mac, and Joy was on the same team. We was on Billy Ray team.
Oh yeah, I do remember, bro. Them days was
facts, bro. That's when we first met.
Serious,
facts,
serious stuff.
Facts.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so Jory, Mac, you was on the same team. That's where we met. We all get to Bonham together, though, right?
Yeah.
So all the people you just mentioned, as well as you and I, we all went into Bonham Junior High School together, and we were stacked, bro. Like we had the hood. Like it was everybody from the Boys and Girls Club was at Bonham. Like we started out strong, and people went different routes in the future. But Bonham was a movie, bro. Let's talk about Bonham a little bit, because Bonham was really where you and I started to like bond and to hit it off, bro. And go ahead. Let me hear your perspective on that before I share what I think.
Bro, I think Bonham was like sweet and sour for me, because I feel like the sour part was
smacking people.
The sour part was, bro, I really, and obviously like we don't know, like you don't know you at that point in life, but I feel like Bonham was leaving private school, like being in private school for so long, and then going to Gonzales for 1 or 2 grades, and then going to Bonham. I feel like Bonham really introduced me to stuff that I had never seen before in a class setting.
Okay.
So like, we was fast in elementary, but we wasn't fast like they was fast in junior high.
Yeah.
Or like we was fast in junior high. But then on the sweet side, bro, I feel like through our relationship, the way we like looked at life at that time, which is crazy to even think about.
Right.
It like kept us, even though we were seeing that type of stuff, it like kept us like a little humble than we thought we, like right now as we think about it now, I feel like we were more humble than we should have probably or could have been.
Yeah.
Because we was coming to school. Bro, it take courage to come to school with a tie on.
Yeah.
Like it's not something that like if your mama make you go to school with a tie on, like you embarrassed.
Yeah.
Like you wonder what somebody finna say. Bro, we did it faithfully and did not care, and we wanted to do it.
We chose to.
Facts, bro. So
But to speak to what you're talking about a little bit more, right? So in junior high you had to wear uniforms, whatever, so you had certain colors, certain like polo, whatever it may be. So Shawn and I, we was like, I don't know when we decided to do it, but we started like I think 8th grade. We like, it's cool, we got to wear a uniform, but we finna switch it up. So we changed the game and start, instead of wearing just a polo, we wore a button-down shirt every day with a new tie every day. So we was the sharpest people in the school, and that's kind of how we distinguish ourselves as leaders.
Facts.
At Bonham. But I agree with you saying, like, I feel like I took stride at Bonham as well. It's really where I figured out, like, I'm all right, I'm good. Like, because I went to school at Reagan. Like, Reagan, it was an elementary school, great prestigious elementary school where I was like maybe 1 of 5 black kids in the whole school that I recall. And I kind of struggled academically there. But when I got to Bonham, it was kind of like, all right, I got a hold of this. I can do this. And so I really took stride and started figuring out who I was when I was at Bonham. And so you and I together, we kind of bolstered each other, right? It would have probably been hard to do that by ourselves. But
Facts.
We was like, nah, we got this. We finna be them guys. And so we started wearing the ties.
Bro, you know what I just thought about, though? I feel like that was probably the trampoline to the thought process of like, nah, we different.
Yeah.
Like not like, we different, like we prideful, but like we think different.
Right.
And I feel like that was like the beginning stages of what people probably see now.
Yeah.
Or what they seen in high school. Like, yeah, we trip. Yeah, we can go down, a whole bunch of stories of stuff we shouldn't have did. But I feel like the mindset of like everything, bro, even sports, like, oh, I'm different, like,
Right.
bro, or school, like, nah, I'm different, or like relationships, like, nah, I'm different.
Right.
And sometimes like that looks as, you know, you are cocky or you are prideful, but bro, I feel like we had that confidence within ourselves at a young age to where now in life we can be in situations where it's like, bro, stranded in the wilderness.
Yeah.
And can handle them different than what we probably would handle if we did not have that mindset growing up at that age.
Yeah.
To where it could be like, you know, obviously now it's specifically, you know, I'm relying on God, I got faith. But before we could even say that back then, we were like standing on that type of stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah, bro.
Hey, thank God for instilling that into us at an early age. And I feel like those years are some of the most formidable years of your life, right? Because you have accountability, but like it don't count as much yet. Like when you get to high school, like you kind of on your trajectory. It's kind of hard to switch up at that point. But
Yeah.
I think about people we grew up with and like the path that they took. And so, you know, glad that God kind of gave us the right guidance, gave us the right influences, whatever it may have been to get us where we were at that stage.
Shout out to our parents too.
Shout out to parents. Speaking of parents, I got to give a big shout out to Miss Janice Pierce, your mother and your father were like, you know, a second set of parents for me. I know Miss Pierce used to bring us lunch every day to Bonham.
Facts.
We was bad and bougie.
Facts.
We was not eating the cafeteria food. She have us with McDonald's and Pizza
Jason's
Hut,
Deli,
whatever. Yeah.
Facts.
So big shout out to Mama Pierce. All right, so Bonham. Anything else we needed to cover at Bonham? Bonham was, bro, growing up together was a movie. It was a lot of
Facts,
fun.
bro.
Bonham was a good time for sure. So we leave Bonham, right? Get to the P. Permian was, I don't know about you. I loved high school though. High school was, I had a blast in high school between the sports, girls, all of it. I just had a blast at Permian.
Bro, I feel like as I like go back in time, bro, it was a blast, bro. Don't let me lie to you. But I feel like for me, I feel like high school was a time where I was really like trying to be a version of me that I probably didn't have to be in that time of my life.
What version of you was that?
So
break
when
that down.
So when I say that, I'm saying like in high school, bro, I really was trying to be about like my business for the most part. Yeah, okay. I was fooling around. Yeah, I was doing stupid stuff.
Yeah.
But at the same time, bro, I was like, bro, like to give you like an example, bro, didn't nobody had to tell me to go work out.
Right.
Like nobody had to tell me to put in extra work. Like nobody had to tell me, you know, hey. And granted, bro, I have people in my life that went on the path that I was trying to go and like trying to be but I didn't talk to them. I didn't know nothing about how to do it, but it was just what I was trying to focus on. So, bro, like it was a lot of time I didn't go out and do certain things that people my age was doing. Like, bro, I would be at the YMCA working out, lifting.
Yeah.
So I feel like, but I'm glad I did that. But I feel like that's one reason why I probably can't share the same experiences as other people that really did. Not wild out, but enjoy high school.
Yeah, I didn't wild out either, for the record.
Nah,
but I had a good time. I was always about my business, but I did so in like having fun as well. You know, I'm not a very serious person, so
yeah,
I know when to turn it on and not. But I really enjoyed. Like I was super busy. I was singing, playing sports, doing all that stuff. Wasn't really a big party or nothing like that, but high school was a cool time, man.
I think for me the biggest part about high school was the ability to. Once you left the house, you was really on your own until you came back home.
True.
Because in high school, teachers cared, but they didn't.
Yeah.
It was like more so like, hey, you know, college is all the reins is off. Like you out here, you out here running. But high school is like, yeah, like okay. Once and when we started driving for real, it was like you going to work.
I ain't see it like that.
Like nah, you don't see it like that, but you know, you is going to school, but you low key going to work. If you don't show up, you in trouble. Like,
true.
You know what I mean? Like it's like a serious slash, you know, it's still school type vibe.
Yeah.
But I feel like, yeah, bro. I feel like it was like mini adulthood.
Yeah,
And I
sure.
took that. I think for me, I took it more serious than I probably should have. Like, bro, even for college, I went on college visits. I did my whole recruitment by myself. My parents didn't know who I was signing to till the day of signing day. Which
wild.
I didn't have to do that, but
Right.
that's just that was my mindset. Like, my parents didn't ask me like, hey, you gonna go work out today? Like, I'd be like, all right, I'm gonna holler at y'all.
I love being a mini adult.
I do too, bro, but I feel like it also takes like the experiences that you probably shouldn't have had anyway, but that other people can share,
Right.
because that wasn't how they looked at it, which isn't a bad thing, but that's just
I would have moved. I would have moved a little bit different. Maybe I'd have been a little bit slowed down a little bit.
That's what I'm saying.
Cause I feel like I was just blowing and going like
Facts. Because you got that mindset.
Good. But like for me, I feel like my mindset is like I had to be busy, like to stay out of trouble, and also to get out. Like I was trying to get a scholarship, so
Facts.
I didn't care if I had to play basketball, football, track, water polo, whatever I needed to do.
Facts.
I was trying to get that scholarship, and so I see what you're saying. Mini adulthood, but I still had a lot of fun. I would have slowed down a little bit and done things maybe slightly different, but other than that, it was a good time. What was it like playing for Permian, right? We had a chance to play for a world famous school, play football, Friday Night Lights, the movie, the book. What was it like being a part of that?
I'm gonna shoot you straight, bro.
got to.
For me, bro, it was for me, bro, I feel like, bro, it was puffed up, if I'm honest. Like, don't get me wrong, Friday Night Lights is crazy.
Yeah.
It's an experience that I definitely don't want to take back, bro. If I'm honest, bro, Friday Night Lights was liver than my first 3 years of college.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so being at HBCU before we got the crazy stadium and all the different stuff that we got now. When I got to PV, it was the slums.
Yeah.
So, like, I literally would be in college, like, bro, my high school better than this.
Yeah.
So don't get me wrong. Friday Night Lights was fire, bro. And the Friday night games, bro, is crazy lit.
Right.
But I feel like at the same time, because, and I'm just being honest, because of the individuals that was leading us at the time, and maybe it's the knowledge that they had at that point, but I feel like more people should have been able to take a different route due to the people that actually are there that care for them. For example, like, I feel like we had to be our own recruiters. Not saying that they wrong for it, but at the same time, if I go to Dallas, that's not the same experience.
Yeah, interesting. But you say that, but it's not like we knew that at the time.
That's
right?
what I'm saying.
So we just living and going
Facts.
as kids. Yeah.
And so at that point, you like, maybe I need to just go harder.
Yeah.
But then you find out, like, nah, fam, like, we sent like 7 emails and we never got nothing back.
Oh, wow.
So it's like, nah, bro.
It was like that.
No, I literally heard that, bro. Like, a coach told me that.
Oh, wow.
A coach, and I definitely won't name him, but yeah, bro, he literally told me and another player that we used to play with, a wide receiver that we went to a camp with.
Mm-hmm. I know what you're talking about.
Told a coach, bro, told us after he had kind of, stepped away and we were kind of older. He told us, like, yeah, bro, like, it was like that at a point because it was just like, it's our job. Let's win some football games.
Don't care about the rest.
No, that's not. It is what it is.
Sheesh.
And so unless the coach was showing up at the door,
Yeah.
you may not even know that
People want to talk to you.
people want to talk to you.
That's wild.
Because remember, back then it wasn't Twitter, it wasn't Facebook.
Yeah. It was, but it
wasn't popping.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was for like 4-star, 5-star. I'm really trying to get to you.
Yeah.
But a 3-star, 2-star, 1-star, no star.
Yeah.
I still want to talk to you. Like, we're looking at you.
Right.
But at the same time, I can't get in touch with you.
Right.
Unless I come up there.
Yeah.
And I got to come all the way to Odessa, Texas.
Yeah. That's a stretch.
You know what I'm saying? So at the same time, bro, it was just like that type of stuff that I know now that I didn't know then. I feel like that's why it's puffed up, because if you go ask somebody, like when I was in college, I would wear like a Permian sweater or something, and they'll be like, bro.
Yeah.
And they like going crazy. Like, I even gave one of my teammates, a linebacker, one of my Permian shirts, because bro was just buck wild about it.
Yeah.
But to me knowing all that, I'm like, it's not what you think it is, fam.
Well, we didn't know that, though.
No, you didn't know it.
We also played at a different time than the actual.
Facts.
It's like it was much different
Facts.
then, and they were really good. We weren't that good.
Facts. Truth.
We weren't that good, and we still had a dope
experience.
Good,
dope experience.
That's interesting. I didn't know that at all, to be honest. But I do recall, I had a few people reach out to me via like social media and stuff. But all the others, like other stuff, like me going where I went, I reached out to them. Like Facts. I sent email film to them, and so that's wild to know.
Bro, my scholarship, none of my scholarships came from. Only one scholarship came from a coach coming to Permian. All the rest of my scholarships came from NCSA and me going to camps.
That's wild. Dang. But it worked out for you.
Facts, bro. I'm grateful still.
So we graduate Permian 2013. You head to PV. I go to Harvard. Very different experiences. Harvard is Harvard. PV is HBCU live. I feel like God was protecting me because if I went to HBCU, I might have went off the rails. But tell me about the HBCU experience. Tell me about PV. I know that we went down there a couple of times for homecoming and stuff like that, but what was it like going to PV, leaving Odessa, Texas, where it's not very, the black population is a very small percentage.
Yeah. And
then going to PV.
So we talked about this last night, bro. Like, me going to PV was off some managed stuff, for one. It wasn't even off I feel like this is the best decision. The only reason, one of the biggest reasons why I did go to PV, though, is because, for one, the only other scholarship I had in Texas was a half scholarship. But everything else was out of Texas. Mm-hmm. And, my mom had gotten 2 car accidents, so I'm like, I want my mom and dad to be able to come anytime they want to. You know what I mean? If I need to get to them, I can take a 45 minute flight. Right. So that was one of the biggest reasons why I was like, you know what, I'm going to the full ride that's in Texas. But other than that, bro, I knew nothing about the school. I went on the visit there and literally when I showed up the first day, I still didn't even know what a football field was. I didn't know what a locker room was. All I knew was where my room was, and that's because they took me there. Yeah. But HBCU, bro, the cleanest way, the most simplest way I can put it, bro, it's a family reunion 365 days of the year. Literally.
People don't really know about family. Everybody might not know.
So let me put it like this, bro. It's homecoming every day. If you didn't go to college, let me put it like this. It's your favorite party that you ever had for anybody in your family or your own party. Yeah. It's that every day. Yeah. So like, bro, first and foremost, let me say this. It's black people from everywhere, not just Texas, but you got black people from Chicago. You got people from out of the you got Africans that come to HBC, that come to Prairie View. Right. So you're meeting all different type of people that are African American, that are black. And so I think that was the biggest thing for me. I had traveled the world, but I had never been in a place where I was living there, experiencing all these different type of black people. And all I knew was like Odessa black people. Right. Which are totally different. Yeah. So one, I was blown away by that. But then also, bro, I wasn't prepared when I went to college. Like fit-wise, bro, to the littlest thing, like clothes-wise, bro. Like, I'm coming from Odessa, so I'm coming with basketball shorts and some jeans. But you get there, they fit it up. They looking good. I'm like, wait a minute. I come with slides and some Nikes, and I'm like, oh, no, I got and all my J's, but I'm just not ready for it. And so, bro, it took me a little time to adjust. But, bro, Prairie View is a time, bro. Like, it's a time. If you go to Prairie View and you don't just have a little focus, you're going home. You will be back home in 2 semesters. Yeah. Because it's not even that you want to. It just real life, like, let me put it like this. Hey, bro, are you going to class or are you finna go to this kickback? Right. That's a question you got to ask yourself every day. Don't let it be a class you don't like. Right. I'm going to the kickback. Or, hey, fam, you going to class. This was really a real one. On Wednesdays, we got hump day, which is where all the Greek organizations come out in the middle of the yard. Everybody from 12 o'clock to 1, from 11:30 to 1 coming out, and everybody just there, DJ out there. They strolling, everybody else just cooling, chopping up. You talking to the lady, you doing whatever. You literally asking yourself if you got a class at that time. Am I going to class this week?
Tough decision.
You might go in there late because you like, but I had to go to homecoming. I mean, I had to go to hump day. Yeah. So, bro, it's just a vibe, bro. It was a vibe, bro. But it was an experience that I won't ever take back. I wish I would have handled some parts different, but, bro, I don't regret nothing about it. So, yeah, bro.
Nah, I bet it was. I asked that because, like, part of the target audience for this project is, like, people who are young, who may be trying to make decisions about careers, decisions about colleges. And I went to Harvard, which is a predominantly white institution, and HBCU is obviously predominantly black. And so very different experiences, right?
Yeah.
Still two great educations.
For
but
sure.
The experience is definitely different. Like, the music, the vibe, the partying at HBCU, at PV, you know, we couldn't touch that at Harvard. Like, they get down at Harvard, but, like, it was nothing like that.
For sure. I do want to add this, though, because I just gave you everything about the partying part. But also, like, as far as for, like, people that do want to look at HBCUs and stuff like that, the education is actually good.
Yeah.
Like, the nursing program at Prairie View is one of the top nursing programs in the state of Texas.
Yeah.
Also, Prairie View, being an HBCU, is top 3, I want to say, in institutions in Texas, period, as far as graduation and job, getting a job out of college rate. Mm-hmm. So, like, education-wise, it's still a dope university. Like, they don't play about school. Like,
right. Yeah.
You will
definitely
fill out
top-notch
quick
people that come out of there, especially
facts,
engineers.
Bro.
That like
engineers as well, bro.
Yeah.
They got 3 engineer buildings. They building one right now, like engineering program, fire as well.
Yeah.
So all 5 of my friends in college was engineers. They all got jobs right out of school.
Yeah.
So yeah.
You got to share about the guy to girl ratio. Every time I hear this, it blow my mind,
bro.
Just because I'm a person who like girls and women, and so I mean, I'm married now, so it don't matter. But yeah, I got to hear this.
I wasn't married then, so it did matter. and I was managed then too, so it did matter. And so, bro, when I got the PV, it was 7-1, so seven women to 1 man. And as I got up into junior, senior year, bro, it had already reached like 15, 16, 17-1.
Great odds.
bro. And so, like, it was crazy, though, bro, because you could literally go to class, and it could be a class of 40 people, and you the only dude in there. Or it's 3 dudes in there. Or, you know, it's a 25-member class, and you the only person in there that's a man. Everybody else women. So, bro, it's wild, bro, but...
And they was beautiful.
And they're beautiful, bro. They're from everywhere, bro, and you realize you can't not be out there, bro, acting crazy, bro, unless you real life. And I don't know one, bro. I don't know nobody I went to school with that was real life like, nah, bro, I'm so focused. I'm not talking to no girl. I'm not, bro. It's hard, bro. And that's why I said what I said. Like, bro, if you're not, especially as a man, if you ain't disciplined, if you don't have a little bit of self-control, it's a wrap. Because you're going to go to class and Professor Jones going to be talking about 1990 history lesson, and bro, you already looked at 19 different girls, figuring out which one you finna walk out with and try to get their number. It's that real. So yeah, bro.
Man, tell us what you studied at PV.
So I went, bro. I wish I didn't, but I did. So I went and didn't know nothing about bro, I didn't know nothing about majors. I didn't know nothing about nothing, bro.
Yeah.
All I knew is that I was leaving Odessa, Texas, on a full ride scholarship, going to play football. That's all I knew.
Yeah.
So when I got there, I was
really showed up blind.
Bro, I was blind. Ray Charles. I showed up, bro, and I'm like, you know, they like, what you want to do? I'm like,
I ain't got no clue.
Fam, I don't know. So they like, well, just take your basics and let's just see what you want to do. And so, like, probably like second semester with my advisor, still see her face like in my head. Talk to her on Facebook sometimes. Older black lady, super nice, bro. Took care of me till I became a junior, and I really didn't see her much. But she was like, "Hey, what do you like to do?" And I was like, at that time, I'm like, the easiest thing for me is to coach. Like, I'm just good with working with people, teaching people, mentoring. Like, I do that easily, bro. I was training people in high school and stuff like that. So she was like, well, then get into kinesiology. I'm like, well, put me in. I trust you. Go ahead, put me in. Bro, it was probably the worst decision I made in college, man.
Studied kinesiology?
Bro, because it was crazy easy. Bro, you going to PE, basically. Like, you don't get me wrong, you learning, you got to take your science class, you got to learn the body, You got to learn about different things within kinesiology, studying, because it's a Bachelor of Science. So you learn, you taking all the science classes, you taking all the sports classes, you taking all the stuff that has to do with like physical therapy, coaching, all that type of stuff.
Yeah.
And who wants to do that when they leave college? You have to really want to coach.
Right.
You got to really want to do PT.
Yeah.
When I left college, I did not want to coach. I didn't want to do PT.
Yeah.
What am I going to do?
What did you do?
So if I could go back, bro, I would have did business. Business. I got my business
You'd have
degree.
been in private equity, huh?
Nah, I might have. I would have knew what you. Nah, I would have went in business, bro, and I would have just did. But later on, as we talk, bro, I'm a be able to say why I am okay with where I'm at.
Yeah.
But I wish I would have did business because I literally don't use my degree because there's nothing that I can use it for unless I go into like coaching and stuff like that.
A lot of people are in that position though.
Oh, facts, bro.
That's why I feel like going in and not knowing what you want to do is a dangerous game to play because you could end up just blowing a lot of money.
That's all I did.
Yeah.
So, bro, advice for anybody going to college: sit down with an advisor and don't rush.
Figure out what you want to do before you start just breaking off bread.
Facts, bro. Don't rush, especially if you're not on scholarship. If you're going, even if you're on scholarship, bro, don't rush, bro. Figure out exactly what you want to do. Obviously, if you spiritual, pray about it. Sit down with God, see what He would have for you to do.
Yeah.
But don't rush into it, even if because the first year or so you're taking basics anyway.
Yeah.
So don't rush if you don't have to, but definitely don't do something just because. Hey, I like that. I'm good at that.
Right.
Because at the same time, you could just be wasting your time.
But one thing I'll say about my experience in college was that I think, and I was grateful for Harvard, that they had like the first freshman year, they say, just learn for the sake of learning.
Facts.
So you had time, like a gap before you even committed to a major in college. And so that first year, it's great to just to figure out your space, to figure out what Harvard's about, figure out your people, whatever it may be, and not have so much, strenuous study that first year. The one thing that was kind of troublesome with that though is if you like pick a difficult major like engineering per se, you might be behind a little bit and have to take engineering courses stacked on each other. But
yeah,
that was definitely one of the benefits for freshman year for me because I thought I wanted to go in and be like a politician.
Yeah.
And then I started writing papers. I got a bad grasp. Like maybe this writing stuff ain't for me. Let me do let me do some math stuff that's black and white. You got to give me what you owe me. Yeah. Okay, so you did kinesiology. Mm-hmm. What'd you do after you graduated? Like, what kind of path did you take? Talk to us a little bit about career for you.
So I left. So I finished my last season, graduated in 17. Then I came back 18 and played. I'm sorry. I graduated in 17, came back, played my last season in 18.
Okay.
After I played my last season in 18, due to PV, if I'm honest, PV not doing their job, I wasn't able to stay my medical year due to them not doing their job. And so I had to move on with life. And so I went ahead and went for the NFL route.
Okay.
Worked out, did a private workout with the Browns with Alonzo Highsmith in Houston. And then weighed on that, had some Canadian looks, had some indoor football. I was like, nah, they don't got insurance. They don't really pay nothing. Not going out there for no reason. Which also let me know that I really didn't. I cared about football because it was a ticket.
Right.
And if it wasn't going to get me like NFL, I wasn't finna go do the rest of it.
Yeah.
And so I waited around that for like 4 months, 5 months, and I wasn't going to be one of them dudes that, granted, nothing against those dudes, but I wasn't going to be nobody that kept working out, didn't get a job, trying to make it to the league for 7 more years. So I was like, you know what? And I prayed about it. And so I went to work. While I was working out, I went to work at a Lifetime, or not Lifetime, but LA Fitness.
Yeah.
Because you came up there. LA Fitness. And so I went to work there.
I did one training session with you.
Facts. I went up there and I did I was running like the training stuff. So like I had trainers under me and I was running like the whole department basically in one of their gyms. And so I was doing that, using my degree with that. Right. And so Yeah, right. And so I was doing that, bro. And then after, so what I did was I prayed and I asked God, like, hey, if I'm supposed to give up football, like, show me. And at that point, bro, if I'm honest, although I've been at church, I was like, me and God, my walk with God for real, like, was maturing at that time.
Okay.
And so I was like, man, God, listen, if I'm supposed to give up football, just let me know. And I got specific. And you don't get specific with God if you don't want to hear the answer. Yeah. So I'm like, hey, God, if this is what... Now, granted, bro, what I'm finna say, I love to work out. I've been working out all my life by my desire, just wanting to.
Right.
So I told him I knew if I needed to know, I wanted to give specifics. So I'm like, God, if it's not for me, take my desire to work out away. Bro, I kid you not. A week went by, I'm going hard. Another week come, bro, I don't even care about it. I'm like,
yeah,
I'm good on it. And it took me like 2 weeks to like think about that. And I was on the phone with my mom on one of my shifts, and I was like, Mom, for some reason, I don't really care about working out. Like, and she was like, well, pray about it. And when she said that, bro, it was like through our conversation, I was like, I did.
Yeah, I already got the answer. I just
clicked it. Yeah. Bro, I stopped going to the Dr. Lou. Shout out Dr. Lou All In Fitness, where I was training. I stopped going there, and also I was like, I don't like this neither. So I'm like, I'm not finna even be sitting here doing this neither. So right. I was like, Mom, I'm finna come home for a month or so.
Okay.
So I went home for like the summer. Still had my apartment in Houston, but I went home for the summer. And while I'm home, my dad like, hey, listen, whatever you do, go back to Houston. Like, don't not stay in Odessa. I'm like, I'm already going back. Like, listen, I'm not one of them.
Right.
But he worried. He like, bro, don't get stuck. I'm like, bro, I'm not. Bro, I still got my apartment. I'm going back. So I go to my uncle's house, Ed Williams, and we just sitting there. He like, man, listen, I don't know why, but I feel like you should go into insurance. And I'm like, fam.
That's wild. I ain't know it.
I don't know nothing about none of that, fam.
Yeah.
But I also knew that I didn't want to go back to work for nobody. Mm-hmm. So I was like, let's check it out. And he brought up one of our old teammates' dad that did it in insurance. Okay. And I was like, okay, let me see. What I didn't know, though, is that I had applied for some jobs before I left Houston. Uh-huh. One of the jobs I applied for, which I didn't know that that's what it really was a independent contract life insurance agent. Okay. So on my way back, I get there, and I'm still like looking through everything, and he had reached out to me. Mm-hmm. So I go on an interview, and I find out like this is what it really is. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, well, let's rock. Let's see what we're doing. So it jumped off. I went into the insurance industry then. I'm making money, making good money, like, and I'm 1099, so all the money I'm making is coming to me. Right. I'm not paying no taxes because everything is a write-off. Uh-huh. So I'm making money, bro. Right. And so that hit off good. So I'm in the insurance industry, and that's what I've been doing up to this point. Like, that's the only thing I've ever done was, as far as work-wise, is insurance industry, bro.
That's cool, man. That's cool. So, just for those who might be like, man, I could do insurance. Like, to be an insurance agent, you have to get like a certification, correct?
So you got to get your license. You got to pass. You got to make a 70 or above on the license, which is super easy. I think I studied for like a week and a half, and when I took the test, passed it, and you just renew it every year. Cool. I mean, every 3 years, 2 years.
Cool. All right, so that's what you've done for a career after school. You talked about something like talking about the journey with football, right? Football for me, I thought I loved the game till I got to college and figured out it was a job, and it was requiring more of me than I was willing to give, and I wasn't in the right headspace. And so after freshman year, I had to let it go and pivot and just really change a little bit of my identity, because I had always been the athlete. So that was the first time in life since like maybe ever that I can remember that I wasn't student athlete and just became student. But beyond that, right? Beyond football, beyond your career and stuff like that, you talked about what you studied, the kinesiology, and how you were interested in coaching and stuff like that. And I really like how you talked about your faith journey. So I know that the coaching piece and your faith journey kind of overlap in a sense, but
Yeah.
before we get to talking about where you are in ministry now, tell us a little bit about that journey with faith, like, because we always been believers, bro. Like,
Yeah.
we always been believers since we were young. But what was that journey with your faith like, and how did you get to the point of, I guess, where you are today in terms of getting on the right track and not just being like a half in on the fence
Yeah.
type of Christian?
So what I'm gonna say, bro, is yeah, we always believe, bro, but I think what maybe we don't talk about enough is that you can believe in Jesus and not be a disciple.
That's very true.
Like, you can literally proclaim that you believe in all of that and never do, bro. Discipleship is work.
So when you say disciple, what do you mean by that? What's a disciple?
So becoming a disciple of Jesus Christ. So if you think about like the 12 disciples in the Bible, like all of them, Jesus went to them or they came to Jesus, and it was leave what you're doing, and it was just it's not a sense of don't go to work and just read your Bible, but leave your way of doing things, pick up your cross, die daily, follow me, and live the way in which you say that you believe in. Yeah. Live the kingdom way.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, you can say you believe, but at the same time, you have a Lord, and when you decide to be a disciple, you decide to live under his lordship. Right. You decide to follow his ways. You decide to follow the path in which he's called for you to live on. And so, yeah, we believed. Yeah, we went to St. James. Yeah, we did all of those things. And you can still do all of that and never grow in Christ. And so, for me, we were them kids. And I got to college, and I think that's kind of like when my faith journey kind of like started slowly getting, because at that point I'm on my own. Yeah. And so it was from that point that I actually had to stand on, like, do you really like believe? Do you really have faith? And I could say that I did, just from the situation and stuff that I went through in college, that like I was like, nah, like I believe in God. Like, yeah, I know all of this looks crazy. I know I done had 3 surgeries in the last year and a half, but I believe that God got me here, and I believe He gonna work something out. Like, I still believe. For sure. And so my journey was different, bro. And what's crazy is people knew that. Yeah. People knew I believed, even though also they knew I was wilding out sometimes, but they knew I believed too. Like, bro, it's people that we even in ministry now that, bro, used to talk about my journey in faith back then, when I first met him, I started talking to him. So it was evident, and I didn't start doing the work until I got out of college, though. Yeah, like the actual disciple work, the actual. Listen, are you going to die? Are you going to really die to yourself? Are you really going to die to your will, to your way? Are you really going to follow my ways? Like, are you really going to be on this journey for real, or are you just going to wear the jersey? Yeah. So that started after college, but it was still evident, like, yeah, you're a believer in college, bro. Like, me taking people to church, me holding different things, me like as far as like different projects on campus and doing stuff through a group that I was a part of called Blessed Males, like that I'll go on the record and say was not what it was supposed to be, but I was a part of it. But I went into it thinking it was something different, trying to really move different things, do things that was positive for the community and stuff. It didn't work out that way, but people knew who I was because of all of that type of stuff. Gotcha. And so my faith was there, bro. But again, discipleship-wise, me growing didn't happen until after college.
I got you. Yeah, I think that I always love hearing about people's faith journey because I know my own. I feel like mine has always been, and to this day still is at times, a tug of war, right?
For sure.
Between both sides. And just the transparency that people can have, right? It helps other people, right? Because I always felt like I had to be Mr. Perfect, right? Always give that perception, and maybe on the outside I was, but on the, knowing me, I was far from it. And so I feel like the same thing. Like, I always have kind of wrestled with my faith, not in terms of what I believe, but living it out the way I know I'm supposed to. And so I dealt with that a lot in college, and feel like I really hit stride after college, like you saying, in marriage, because marriage requires you to either let that stuff out or it ain't finna work.
Yeah, for sure. I think, bro, a good like pinpoint here though, like to encourage those. I feel like people that's gonna listen to this gonna be around our age or younger, maybe some older, right? But I feel like to pin it here though, like to let people know that it's not about you being perfect.
Yeah, you can't be.
Like you can't be, and I think that's the crippling part though.
Yeah,
like either I'm finna try to be perfect or I'm not gonna try to do nothing.
Yeah,
I feel like that's like the two extremes that people live on, especially coming from high school to college or from high school to the real world. It's like it, and they're already in the faith.
Yeah,
growing up in church, but because bro, if I'm honest, bro, especially where we come from, you can't really name too many places where it was real discipleship at for our age. And so majority of people that are going to come from that space have not been discipled.
Right.
So they're going to go through the exact same thing that we went through as far as the journey.
Yeah.
So we fall on two extremes. Either I say I believe, but to heck with all of that, or I believe, I grew up in this, I got to be perfect.
Right.
Which you still gonna fall short of.
Definitely.
So I feel like the encouragement here is it's never about you being perfect, but it is about you being committed to the journey.
Yeah, I love the saying, not perfect, but continually progressing.
Facts. And I think that it's good to hear that at our age, because you do have people that are trying to be either perfect or to hell with it.
Yeah.
But I think it's so good that for those that are going into college, like, know that as much as you don't think, because you're leaving your parents' home, you're not going to get watched like that. They ain't going to know what you're doing. But that faith journey is more for you than it is for them.
It gotta be. I feel like that's where college really, like, I've been grown up on this because my mom and them took me to church, but this is like where I got to figure out, is this something I truly believe? Because I don't got to get up and go to church no more. I don't have to do nothing.
Facts.
And no one knows what I'm doing but me.
Facts, bro. I feel like I went through like, bro, and if we get into it, get into it. But I feel like I went through a piece in my college career where I was finna leave college, because as much as I knew I believed, as much as I had a praying mama and I had a praying grandma, all that stuff, I've been in church since I was a baby deacon, like that. But when I got to a place where it was like, hey fam, you gotta walk this out though.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you've been praying, but have you been like actually cognizant of like who you praying to and actually believing that type of stuff?
Right.
And so I went to a space in my college career early on where I'm like, fam, like, I believe in God, don't get me wrong. I believe that Jesus died for me.
Right.
And I don't know nothing.
Right.
So what I'm supposed to do when I get all these thoughts and like I hate all these folks because I don't know how to like live and be me and be okay with being me, because like I haven't been able to be me back at home because I had to try to be like this person that
had this perception.
Yeah. So like I went through that space where I'm like, bro, like, and you know the devil, bro, like,
oh yeah.
He loved them type of spaces.
Yeah.
Where it's like, okay, cool, you thinking about all this. Let me add some in there.
I'm gonna tell you that space. The space is a place where you feel almost stuck. Like you can't be your authentic self. You can't share how you really feel, what you really struggle with, because if you do, people gonna treat you like an outcast and shame you. I feel like that's one of the biggest tactics of the devil, of our enemy. Because I was in that same position. So much so where I was like having chest pains, bro. I thought I was gonna have a heart attack or a stroke one time. And then that's how me and your boy Kevin got real close. So like, yo, Kevin, this is how I'm feeling, this is what I'm going through. And I thought he was gonna respond one way, and I told him, bro, if you had responded any way than what you did, bro, I would have been on my way, because I would have been off the realms. But the way he responded was in love. He corrected me, but he still loved me and didn't, treat me any different. And that's why he and I are so close today. And that really broke that chain off of me. But I feel like that's the biggest tactic of the enemy. One of the biggest tactics is to make you feel like if you're vulnerable, if you're transparent, there's no place for you in the family. Bro,
this how. So you had Kevin. It was just me and God, you know.
That's tough.
I had to walk out that thing, and this is the thing that, and it is not nobody's fault. I just didn't know how to tell you. Yeah. Because it's like, except my mama, but at the same time, she 9 hours away, she 8 hours away. She could pray for me.
Yeah.
But and it's certain stuff that I never even told her, because I'm like, I don't even know how to tell you this. Like,
yeah.
bro. Like it was nights, bro. It was days where I was having anxiety. No, I don't even think I ever told nobody this, but I'm having anxiety attacks, bro. One of the worst ones was when I went home in Odessa, bro. I'm in my room, like, bro. Just imagine this, bro. Imagine you being outside of yourself, looking at yourself, and like being able to look inside of yourself, and there's like your head is spinning. There's like 17,000 thoughts going around, and like you can't stop it, and you just feel like you finna like, bro. I used to go through that like spells of that every other day, like every other night, and so I'm like, bro, it was in that period of time, and so I'm like, bro, I don't even know how to like, God, if you don't help me out of this, I don't really know you like that, but God, if you don't help me out of this, like it's finna be a wrap because I can't even have a good day without coming back to a space where I'm like, just like in tears. I'm like, bro, I can't even stop my head. Like, so, and I know there's other people out there with the same issues because of this having to either live out something that is not you because you're afraid to,
Right.
or the opposite is the first part is you're not living out anything. Like you're being just reserved. You can't talk to people. You hate people. Or is this I'm acting out crazy because I don't want you to see me.
Yeah.
It's either or.
Yeah.
Most of the time. Not too many people are really being them. And so when it's like that, bro, you have nothing else to do but either you're always action, like you're always in a movie, you're always portraying another individual, you're always doing something that's not you. Right. And so all day long, bro, until you get home and be able to turn it off and be with yourself,
you strong,
you don't, bro. And so yeah, bro, that's why I said, bro, it's super important for those that's gonna listen. Like, man, your faith journey is important for you. Like, scratch what mom and daddy finna think about it. Scratch what everybody finna think about it back at the crib or wherever you're at. Now you gotta dig in because at the end of the day, when everything goes left, whatever you're building on is gonna reveal itself.
Yeah.
And if you ain't building on that faith journey, if you ain't building with God by yourself, you're gonna be exposed.
Yeah.
Not because he wants you to be exposed, but because you're exposing yourself.
Because you got to come to a head at some point. That's what happened in my life. You said you had only you and God, bro. But
Facts, bro.
God is all powerful, but I definitely needed Kevin because I was praying, I was fasting, and it wasn't clicking, bro.
Facts, bro. It was him, bro. And I say it was just me and God, bro, because since I had the last one, bro, I haven't had another one of those in my life.
Yeah.
Ever.
Praise God for that.
Ever. And so, and it wasn't because I went to church and somebody laid their hands on me. It wasn't because I went to counseling. It was none of that, bro. It was literally me and God walked through that thing. And then I wouldn't say like it was me and God, but now I'm like, it could have been nothing but God.
Yeah.
So yeah, bro.
Praise God for that, man. Praise God for that. So we both talked about the journeys that we had with our faith, right? And thank God that we've come to this point. Still haven't figured it all out, still struggle at time to time, but
for sure.
But God is faithful. And so our encouragement would be to the faith journey. It's not easy, but it is worth it. So that's my encouragement always to people. But from the point of growing in ministry, now you are a minister, a pastor, leading a ministry. Talk to us about Read, Pray, Share.
Am I talking about Read, Pray, Share, or am I going to the beginning, or just talk about it from now?
You could talk about the beginning. Let's hear the journey with that.
So, first and foremost, like, this is something that obviously like people have always said, but I always deny it because I'm like, nah, fam, I would rather do something different. Like, I don't really want to do no ministry stuff.
That is true. People have always called you like Coach Wright, Pastor Pierce,
bro. Forever, bro. Since I was a kid, like little kid, bro.
Wow.
And so, and then my mom told me after I got in the ministry, like it was something that God had like a word that he had gave her when I was a kid.
Wow.
And, my mama don't talk to people. My mama ain't got no friends. Like, I'm her friend. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So, like, it wasn't that she was out talking to people and like, this is something that her and God, that God told her. And so, really and truly, bro, in 2020, actually at the end of 2019, I had this moment with God in my room, bro, and it was like that point of, it was like on the road to Damascus, bro. It was like as if God like met me in my room and was like, bro, you gonna follow me or no?
Sheesh.
And I'm like, first and foremost, you ain't had to come check me like this. But bro, I could do nothing but ball out crying, bro. Like, and like, yeah, like, and granted, bro, let me give you context to that. Like, I'm wilding at this point.
Yeah.
I'm single and wilding. I got my own apartment, and it was as if everything was going perfect.
Right.
My life wasn't hell. Like, I wasn't going through the worst time in my life.
Right.
I'm making the most money I ever made. I'm out here wilding as far as like having sex, going out, doing all these things. I'm wilding, bro.
Yeah. And
so at this point, when he meet me in my room one night, and it was like, hey, like, are you done? Are you done with yourself? Like, have you gotten to the point where you through with you? And I'm like, yeah, I'm done. Like, I'm done, bro. Like, it's up. Now, that don't mean that I have not struggled with nothing. That don't mean that I haven't went through bad season, bad times. It doesn't mean that life has been peaches and creams, but it was the start of, I feel like, the journey where it was like, nah, I'm walking with God for real. Yeah. Like, this ain't no games. Yeah. And so, right before that, though, me and Rob had been talking about starting, like, doing, like, podcasts, doing stuff to where, you know, sitting down and talking and all this type of stuff. And then, but we never did it. And so, after that moment, maybe like a month or so after, and I'm sorry if I don't get this timeline correct, but this is like me just trying to give it to you. So after that, a dude that I went to college with that played basketball at PV, he had called me one midday one day, and he was like, "Hey, bro," or text me. I'm sorry, he texted me, and I was working in insurance then too. He texted me. He's like, "Hey, bro, I got a question for you." And I was like, "What's up?" He was like, "Hey, bro, I feel like we should start this Instagram page together." I'm like, first of all, this is out the blue. Second of all, me and Rob been talking about this, like starting something, because me and Rob had already been posting on our own pages. Okay. So like posting like daily devotions on our pages, posting like we started the Hear Gospel, Play Gospel at that time.
Yeah, I remember that.
And so he says this, and me and Rob had already been talking this, and Rob knows him well. He knew him well. So I called Rob, and I'm like, "Hey, bro, like, Zach just hit me up about this, and we just talking about this. Like, what you think?" And he like, "I'm down, bro. Like, you know, I'm down for it." And so I'm like, "Cool." And granted, this was just supposed to be us posting our devotions, just everybody doing it on one page. Okay. So everybody's content is going out of one stream. Gotcha. Yeah. And so we like, cool. Come up, you know, lay the name down, read, pray, share. The basics of what we do. Right. We read the Bible. We pray to God. We have communication with God. We share. Yeah. And so that's what we were. That's what the conversation was. And so we start the page. When we start the page, we're pushing content. We have a live. Mm-hmm. We do a live that basically was just talking about men talking about women. It was called Woman Up. Okay. And we were talking to women, you know, encouraging women, talking about the real things that we don't talk about our age, about, you know, just the journey, you know, for women and stuff like that. On that live, bro, so many people were coming to the live. So many people were like just listening, tuning in. Right. And granted, bro, I'm just not starting my journey. Yeah. Like with God, like for real, living this life. And so people on there start putting like, "Hey, are y'all willing to do stuff on the weekend, like getting on Zoom and like talking about the Bible, stuff like that?" This is on the first live. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, no. Like, nah, I don't want to do that. Like, just this. Like, but as a group, something kept pulling, like, you know, nah, do it. Yeah. And I'm like, nah, not, bro. I'm not trying to teach nobody nothing from this Bible. Like, no, Don't got no type of mentor. Don't got no help with this. Mm-hmm. But it was like, nah, go. Granted, these two dudes, and they both know I'm telling the truth. They didn't say it on live. Like, they basically just threw it in my lap. Like, nah, bro, this is all you. Like, do this. And I'm like, nah, bro, this is supposed to be us three. Right. We're supposed to all be doing this. Like, they like, nah, bro, like, let's be real. This your avenue. And at the same time, I'm like, God, like, you ain't calling me to do this, fam.
Right.
And so we get on the first one. And, bro, when I say, like, it felt as if, like, you know, like, bro, when you do something and you do something that you like, I don't know if I should really do this. And then, like, you do it and you like, bro, I don't think I should do anything else.
Yeah.
That's how I felt. And granted, bro, I ain't know nothing.
Yeah.
I'm just up there. I studied what the word said, what we was talking about, and I went and gave him what I felt like God was saying in that scripture.
Right.
Had my study Bible, had all that stuff. And so I did it, bro, and I did it the one time. And I was like, bro, nah. So I came back, did it the next Saturday. I'm like,
this is it.
This it, fam.
Yeah.
Like,
that's an amazing place to be in. That's like
facts, bro. I'm like, bro, I don't care if I do nothing else.
That's crazy.
And so I did it, bro. And so Read, Pray, Share turned into a ministry. We had a group that's a part of the ministry right now come and basically like call me to the side like, hey, we feel like God is telling us to sow into what y'all are doing.
Yeah. And
specifically told us that y'all like, this is a minute like y'all, you don't want to accept it, but like this is ministry work. Like,
yeah,
you know, this is something that God is calling you to do, and we feel like you don't want to step into it. So fast forward, we do that. We become a ministry. We start doing ministry work, and so, you know, we're an online ministry. We meet on Saturdays, and we have events throughout the week. We do pop-ups. You know, whenever God gives us an assignment, and yeah, bro,
that's awesome. So, Read, Pray, Share, the church starts from Hear Gospel, Play Gospel, sharing devotionals on Instagram Lives, Saturday Bible studies, now into a full-blown ministry. We have a leadership team. I'm a part of that, me and Destiny and your wife as well. God has done and is doing great things to this ministry. And it's amazing to be a part of that and to see the transformation of you from Gonzalez all the way to now, right? Just seeing you grow up has been a blessing to be your brother in that way. Before we move off of Read, Pray, Share, though, go ahead and let the people know where they can find Read, Pray, Share on Instagram. Tell them about the Saturday Zooms. Tell them about what's coming up in May. For
sure. And so the schedule for Read, Pray, Share is Sunday night. We have prayer on Zoom at 8 p.m. And then Monday we do a Hear Gospel, Play Gospel on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. We also do Wednesday morning prayer at 7 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
On Zoom as well. And then we do a 7:30 Instagram Thursday night experience where we go on and give an encouraging word, pray, do different things at 7:30 p.m. CST time. And then on Saturday at 9:30 CST time, we do basically like a service. We have, you know, music, we have fellowship, we have a word, and then we fellowship at the end as well. And so that's that. And then as far as the pages, everything is at Read, Pray, Share. Everything is at Read, Pray, Share. And then the website is readprayshare.org.
Yeah. And if you have trouble finding it, check our friends on Instagram, and we both follow the page, and so you'll find it.
Also, last thing you said was, so every time God gives us an assignment, we want to do that. And so something that he had gave me a year and a half ago was a vision about going back to Odessa. Something, and it's crazy how God give you stuff, and it's stuff that you don't want to do. And so he gave me this, and I was like, nah, yeah, not me. And then I made a mistake, and he was like, yeah, but you still got to do it. And so I'm like, yeah, okay, cool. And so a year and a half later, here we are. And so May 26th and 27th, Read, Pray, Share takes Odessa. And so we're going to have a worship night on Friday and then a service on Saturday. And
definitely excited about that. And not sure if this will be out by then, but regardless.
For sure.
Cool, man. Well, that's awesome, dope stuff that you're doing within ministry, and praise God for what He's done in and through your life, and for your obedience as a leader. That's ministry. Talk to us about marriage. You got married recently. I think you about 6 or 7 months in now at this point. You and your now bride maybe dated maybe less than 2 years before you got married. Talk to us about that journey. Talk to us about how when a guy knows, he knows. It doesn't take a lot of, especially at our age, right? We grown now, so like we understand like dating.
Yeah.
But talk to us about that journey.
So yeah, I've been married to Angie for 7 months now. All together so goodness gracious, you're gonna get me in trouble with dates. And so
I ain't doing nothing but sitting here.
In 2000, at the end of so we got married this past July.
Yep.
I proposed to her the July before that.
Okay.
So the past July was July of 2022. I proposed July of 2021.
All right.
So we kicked off though around November, December of 2020.
Okay.
Is when we kind of kicked off, and you know we already knew each other a little bit from PV, but we didn't know each other like that.
Yeah.
And if I'm honest, bro, I was in a season where I was like, it's me and God and ministry. Mm-hmm. I got some stuff I need to work on. You know, I gave up sex after that encounter with God. I gave up a lot of stuff, but it was still like, once you give up that, it's residue left.
Yeah.
There's stuff underneath that you still got to deal with. So it was just like, it's me and you, God. Like, I really do need to work on myself. I need to handle this lust. I need to handle a lot of this stuff. And so that was my mindset. And then here comes Angie. And so she followed me. She followed the page. I reached out based off of God, like telling me, reach out, like say something. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, okay, it got to be just for ministry purposes. Because right. First off, Angie's not my type. Like as far as back then, right. Not when I'm used to. Not something that I would just talk to if we was in college.
True.
Not still beautiful, all that, but it wasn't for me.
Yeah.
I thought. And so, reach out for her to pray on a Thursday. She comes on, and I'm like, great. Don't got to talk to her about nothing else.
Yeah.
She maybe come on and pray some more, but that's it.
Right.
And like for 5 days straight, bro, I'm literally thinking about this girl, and I'm like, fam, I don't even like her like that. Like, I don't even want nobody right now. Like, right. I'm out here focused, trying to stay away from the ones that I do like.
Yeah.
And so, but day after day after day, it's like this girl just popping up in my mind out of nowhere. And so I'm like, bro, this is weird. I'm on Instagram going to her page. Like, is this something I ain't seeing about her? Like, why am I thinking about her? And so we happened to just start like just quarterly talking, like just about random stuff about our life and stuff. And then I was in Dallas, Texas. We got on the phone and we had the first phone call that we ever had, conversation that we ever had, and we talked for like 2.5 hours. And so, and she literally told me her whole life. I told her my whole life.
Yeah.
I had never done that before.
Right.
Everybody that I probably ever been with still probably couldn't tell you nothing about my life.
Yeah.
Except like the basics, where I'm from, who my parents are. And so from that day moving forward, I was like, it's something here, but I don't know what it is, and I don't even want it if I'm honest.
Right.
So I'm going along, we chopping it up, and literally God says, this is your wife. And I'm like, no, it's not.
You disagreeing with God.
Yes, because I'm like, bro, I already told you it's me and you.
Right.
Fam, like, I got stuff I need to work on. He like, bro, that's your wife. So I got specific. I said, God, this is my wife. Tell her.
Yeah.
And she would tell me. Probably like three weeks to about a month. I'm on my way back from Odessa, Texas. Just went down there to do some work. We on the phone. She's acting weird the whole day.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what's... And it hit me. She know.
Right, yeah.
So I'm driving and I'm playing stupid.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, what's up? You know, you all right? Like, you acting a little weird. Like, what's going on? But I know.
Right.
And she like, yeah, but I can't, like, I can't say. Granted, bro, she's divorced.
Yeah.
She just got divorced.
Right.
So she's like, you know, and on her end, she like, God, I just got divorced. This can't be you.
Right.
And so, she like, man, I can't tell you this. This is weird, and I feel like I'm finna ruin like our friendship, like with what I'm finna tell you.
Right.
And she's scared, and I'm egging her on because I know. I'm like, nah, tell me, go on, say what you need to say. Like everything cool, even if it's something I don't want to hear. Like I'm straight.
Right.
She like, God told me that you my husband, and I'm like, guess you wasn't lying.
Yeah.
And so, bro, from that day moving forward, bro, we just kind of hit it off, bro. And
how did God tell y'all? How did God tell you, and how did God tell her?
So for me, bro, it was literally like as if it wasn't an impression, but it was as if he like whispered it to me, kind of the same way with the football thing.
Gotcha. Okay.
It was kind of, I gave him something specific, and before that, you said how he said it to me, but it was like a whisper, like
almost like audible to you.
Yeah, like I'm looking at her pictures, I'm thinking about her, and it's as if like, you know, it ain't your thought because you don't want to think about that, but
yeah,
you know, like this gotta be
right. Yeah,
you talking, and I'm like Gideon. I'm like, well, if it is,
yeah,
tell her to tell me.
Right. How did God tell her?
He told her through her quiet time.
Interesting.
Yeah,
same like audible or
yeah,
what?
Like
interesting.
He told her like through her quiet time, and she was like, I feel like God told me this. But also, what gave her confirmation is a girl that she really wasn't in contact with hit her up out of the blue. Mm-hmm. It was like, I felt like God put this on my heart to tell you that you are about to meet the man of your dreams, and it's gonna be a like a refreshing season for you.
Oh wow!
And so she's like, confirmation.
Yeah.
And so yeah, bro.
Praise God for prophetic words, man.
Facts, bro.
Sheesh. All right, so married now.
Mm-hmm.
Still, congratulations. Obviously, I was there to celebrate. It was a great time in Cancun.
For sure.
Thank you for sharing about that, man. As we're getting ready to wrap up just the conversation, is there anything we missed? Anything we should talk about that we didn't touch on?
Not that I can think of, bro. It's a journey, bro. It's so much that we could talk about, but
yeah.
I mean, we kind of covered everything.
We covered the main big things that I really wanted to hit on. Yeah. What's your favorite memory with me? Or one of the favorites?
Oh, dude. Ministry, most definitely, bro. Like different ministry moments. From the anniversary in Houston, mm-hmm. to just moments throughout ministry where we had to make decisions, where we had to do different things, where we had like conversations that we probably didn't know was like key conversations to keep doing the things in which God has called us to do. Yeah. But the funniest memory though that always pops in my mind is, I can't say it specifically because I don't know who gonna listen to this, but it was in high school. We was coming back from lunch one time, and we almost hit somebody that we knew. And it was something that we both were saying that was crazy hilarious, but yeah, bro, that was like the funniest thing. It always pops in my mind, bro. When I think
got a lot of good memories, bro.
But we got a lot of good memories, bro. But that's one of the funnest one. That, and when everybody got a whooping by Coach Pam, we was
except me.
Except you and me. We was in your mama.
I went in there like I was slumped.
Facts. But yeah, bro, we got a lot of memories, bro. But yeah, bro, nothing specific, man. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, ministry has been a lot of fun for sure, man. Looking forward to what God is going to allow us to do and continue to do through us in the future. What is I guess one piece of advice you would give to somebody that might listen to this about life, about really whatever?
Man, you know, I like words, bro. I'm gonna say this, bro. I'm gonna say the quickest advice and I think um, the best advice I can give that can kind of like capture everything that I want to say in between is, bro. The answer is God.
Yeah.
Like whatever it is you want to think about, whatever is the question, bro. The answer is God. Like even if you want to say discipline, God.
Yeah.
Like even if you want to say purpose, God.
Yeah.
You want to say parenting, God. Like the answer is God, and whatever pieces that you need from that is found in Him. And so that's what I would say, man. Like wherever people find themselves at when they listen to this, whatever situations that they're going through, whatever, bro, it's through the relationship that Jesus gave us the ability to have, the sacrifice that He made for us.
Yeah.
It's through that relationship with God, with our Father. So, yeah, bro, that's what I was saying. And the answer is God. Like, whatever it may be something specific that you need, like throughout the stories that we talked about, where God specifically gave us the things that we need, the answer that we need. Right. But it all started with Him.
Yeah.
So, yeah, bro, that's what I was saying.
I think that's a good place to end, man. Thank you for joining me on the project, man. Thank you for opening up your home to me and my family for us to come out here and visit you in Seattle. Very proud of you, man. Love you. Grateful to have you as a brother, and definitely enjoying watching you grow and mature into the man that you are today. And so, kudos to you, man. Thanks again, and definitely be in touch.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for joining the I'm Just Curious project. I hope you've enjoyed this episode, and I hope it leaves you inspired to live curious.